So, hello everyone. This is the ABS podcast. This is the Absolute BS podcast. For those who are joining us or watch this is just two fans of the game of basketball that just wants to talk about hoops, talk about anything that has to do with basketball. Currently, we are in the midst of this long 2022 off season, and we have some news and I'm here with the one, the only, the blunt one, or Alan, or I don't know. There's more names.
No, no. The blunted one. Yeah, I appreciate you for having me on, bro. For real.
No, man, it's the pleasure is mine, man. I always wanted to start a podcast. This is my first time trying it. This is not it's not always easy, as you can see in the background. We're in our offices slash bedroom slash
Yeah.
kids stuff. So we're just here to have fun, talk about basketball. And now the news is this is 7:46 Eastern. I imagine is 6:46 p.m. Central, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
6:46 over here, Central.
yeah. So here's the big news. No picks for Kyrie. Win now.
Yeah, I
Wow.
just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally before we came on, this whole situation about we were talking about like what's best for the Lakers, what's best for the for the Nets. There's different perspectives, but but now Mark Stein kind of put a what's it called, like
The
he kind of
damper.
damper. He popped the balloon. He or I don't know. There's many ways to say to read this. So from Mark Stein, it says the Nets' current stance, sources say, is that they are unwilling to send out Irving in a trade if the deal solely brings back future assets. Wow. What do you think?
Man. I honestly think that's Brooklyn buying back leverage because they know they don't have it. They don't got it. The Lakers are only betting against themselves for Kyrie, and that also tells us that the Nets do not want Russell Westbrook. If we're gonna do anything with the Nets, it needs to be a three-team trade. That's what that tells me.
Yes, I mean I'm 100% on board. Currently, this is wow, like
Yeah, this gives us a lot of. I mean, it's not a
yeah,
lot. They're not saying a lot, but it does give you insight, like
wow.
where the Nets are at right now, and that
I,
tells
I mean,
everybody that all the skepticals that the Nets will take Russ. This tells you that there needs to be another team involved.
I'm in the belief that the Lakers were the only ones to begin with. Like, let's assume Kyrie is one of the talented point guards in the NBA. Like his handles are supreme. He has a wicked shot. He has a lot of baggage. They're like every player, but specifically Kyrie. Like there's a reason why he's being targeted, and the Lakers are the only recourse, I guess, at this point. But man, if this is a leverage play, how do you? Where does this go? Like that's like I feel like there's a tug of war. Like right now, we had yesterday the signing of LeBron James, and now we had reports of Lakers are talking to the Pacers, re-engaging in talks, and now we have this, which I call like, if it's a leverage play, it's kind of like a tug of war. Like they're like, give me a little bit here, give me a little bit there, but there's only two people. There's only two groups. It's the Lakers and the Nets. The Lakers and the Nets.
Yeah. Excuse me. You know what? It's funny. It's funny, right? The net, like, okay, you have to look at the perspective of the Nets. They have two assets right now. right? And that's Katie and Kyrie. We already have one that doesn't that doesn't want to go back. He made it real clear that he either if you want to keep me, fire this person, fire that person, and maybe we'll talk. And then you got Kyrie, who's I feel like he's protecting his image, and he wants to. He's looking for the next. He's looking for his max contract. So um, he's kind of staying quiet and kind of being. I guess you want to say like maybe shy, or I guess camera shy, or
Yeah.
just staying away, kind of staying away from the drama, and be like, you know what, I'm comfortable. I'm fine right now. Everything's okay with the organization, this and that. And I think he's selling that to the media right now because he needs to show that he is max contract worthy. So it's just interesting on how the Lakers and the Nets are on this tug of war, and they're literally staring at each other right now. And Rob and Sean Marks are just like their eyes are just dried out, and who's gonna blink first? That's literally what's gonna happen. And you would think that the Nets would have already have like blinked already, but it's surprising that they're actually still like no, we're not doing we're not gonna do it like this. We're just gonna hold off as for as long as we can until we can buy the leverage back. So we'll see, man. They're like the
Uh,
stubborn little child.
well, you're
That's
ready. You're ready for this one too.
Yeah, let's see.
There's also a retweet here, and as well as part of the Mark Stein media dump in the Mark Stein Substack. But there's league sources say James, in fact, has been assured that the Lakers are willing to trade both of their available future first round picks, the 2027 and 2029. So that's clear indications. And now there's also a part of Mark Steins that says sources confirmed that they would be willing to surrender both first in tandem with Westbrook 47.1 million expiring contract to acquire Irving. So I think we are at this point talking about the same. Like it's not new news if you really
Yeah, it's
think
not.
about it. It's like we all knew like the Lakers were gonna cave at some point. Like it's just a matter of time. But because both teams are, it's it's funny because both teams don't have leverage, but one of them has more leverage than the other. It's this weird dynamic, and like you said, and going back to what you said, yes, like Irving is in his best behavior right now. Like
Yeah,
he's
it's
operate
funny to
like
put it that way too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, as a fan, like you are kind of accustomed or you're kind of numb to the whole like savagery is sometimes of how players act or how stars act, and Kyrie's such a dynamic, like you just don't know what he's gonna think. Like he like
No.
we're both Laker fans,
Hmm.
and but at the same time, I don't know about you, but there's a point that inside of me that I'm like, I want Kyrie, but I want the basketball player, and that extra
Yeah.
baggage is scary.
Yeah, no, it is scary actually because I I've had conversations about Kyrie with like my brother, a couple friends of mine, and I've always kind of thought of Kyrie as like he's a great basketball player, but damn, is he like drama? If you want to put it like if you want to say it that way, or put it in
Yeah.
if you want to like if you want to put it that way, drama baggage. He's got a lot of it, and so does Russ. But the difference of the two is one's a better basketball player than the other. So honestly, I'd prefer Kyrie's baggage over than Russ because of the basketball player that he is, not because of the, I guess not because of the person that he is.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, no, and I'm gonna hammer this to the people that watch this. I watch every single Laker game there is, and there is a point to this where I don't want Russ in the team. I understand what he is, and I have respect to his game. And that game is being that for 14 years the dude has been athletic, has been a phenomenon. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is quintessential, just one of the best point guards. However, last season you can define that the fit is important. Like
Yeah,
fit is so important, and for how bad it was last season, it makes you feel like I'll take Kyrie and I'll take everything that is around Kyrie. And like you're willing to accept the problems, even if it scares you. You're like, well, it's better than whatever I saw last year.
yeah. The basketball fit is there with Kyrie, and
For sure.
that's if we get basketball Kyrie, and which and it's weird. It's like that's like LeBron's little brother. I just feel like they just mesh well, and I feel
Yeah.
like we'll see a bet. And from what like all the rumors out him invested and this and that, it's he wants a contract, and
Yeah.
he didn't play last year, so a lot of people question whether he what's the word I'm looking for here, whether he's committed, and I think he is. And if we get a committed Kyrie, like in as far as the Lakers go, that's going to be fun to watch, and I think he'd be on his best behavior.
Yeah. I honestly agree with that same. Like it's this thing where the Lakers are like the it's the house Kobe built in a
Yep.
certain sense, and I wouldn't think he would disrespect that at all.
No.
So it's and to a certain extent, I don't think even like I really want to take out some of the hate out there about Russ. Like I'm not a Russ fan to be honest, but he doesn't deserve all that hate. Like come on, like he hasn't disrespected Kobe, he hasn't disrespected the whole Laker organization, hasn't disrespected the basketball, like the basketball game. But it just shows you, man, fit is important. Fit
Yeah, fit is
is
really important.
is really important, and I like the Kyrie fit. There was a conversation that I had today, and I want to bring up the probably the next topic here, but I wanted to take your take on this. Like
Okay.
now, now that LeBron signs, and now that we have this information about Kyrie and like the whole Nets position, because I think this kind of clarifies that uh the Nets actually don't want they don't want pieces. Like they don't want picks. And I think a lot of Nets fans have been speaking like the picks regarding the Lakers are not how can you say this? They're not attractive right now. They're attractive in 2027, 2029. So and they're very valuable 2027, 2029 because you don't know what the Lakers are at that point. There
Yeah.
like there's literally there you are uncertain. Like and if they're unprotected, they're like they can be the golden goose. Who knows? Like it's they have value, but the
Yeah, they do.
Nets don't value that, and that could be a play, but it could be their position. Like at the end of the day, the Lakers they signed LeBron, they took out that leverage, and now this situation happens. How do you see this progressing now that LeBron signed, and now we got all of these articles coming out? It's kind of like where do we where do we go now?
Okay. Where do we go from now, or what do you think about what do I think about the signing?
I
Or you
mean,
want both?
I go with whatever you feel, man.
Okay.
Like it's yeah.
In my opinion, first let's talk about his signing. Like, what do I think about his signing? Do I think something's coming? In my opinion, I honestly think that it means something, right? Something went
Yeah.
well during the negotiation process. him and they chopped it up. Everything went good. He feels confident in the Lakers for the next 2 seasons to come.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
And I also want to throw that like he deserves it. He's a powerhouse box office. His last season, the Alcalade speaks for themselves. Like, and I just want to remind everyone, this dude was doing 38-6. He was shooting 50% from the field and a respectful 36 from behind the arc. He's also 37 years old,
Yeah.
19 years in the league. We're talking about a freakish durability. Like, I could arguably say that he could have been an MVP last year.
Yeah. I totally
So
agree with that. Yeah.
Um, so he deserves it, but that also means that there is something is coming. Whether like I think Russ is going to be gone, whether it's Kyrie or the Indiana trade, or whether it's a 3-team trade with the Knicks or the Jazz or the Jazz in Brooklyn, or whatever. Russ will probably be gone. Is what I think is going to happen. That's right now, as the way the roster is currently constructed and the way that LeBron re-signed his contract now, that means there's something coming, and I think Russ will be gone before his San Diego minicamp. Before that, probably Trevor Lane's gone on vacay, so sometime this week, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. It seems when that dude is not around, things tend to happen.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. The the other thing, like with the Mark Stein piece, is that LeBron James was assured that now, so this is the Lakers going all in.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this,
it's got to
like
be an
this is
all-in season.
yeah.
Has to be.
So
We only
so
got LeBron for 2 years.
yeah, I agree. Like I feel like now it's the thing that scares me here is there's a lot of this where we don't know what to expect. Like for instance, let's say the uncertainty of the Nets and what they do. Let's say the Lakers decide after the signing of LeBron James, hey, we're gonna do everything in our power to get Kyrie. And I think every news article that's been coming out seems to indicate that, or at least
Yeah,
that's the feeling that I get, or
yeah,
at least
yeah. There's the indication is we're all in on Kyrie.
yeah,
It's out there, and the Nets are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, pump the brakes. We still need to figure out what's gonna happen with KD.
yeah. And that's interesting though, because now the thing is how committed they are to Kyrie. I feel like that's very, very, very important, because if they're so committed that they're, it's this thing where I'm now, this may be weird to say and probably controversial, but I feel like the Lakers may come with, they they may bring Russell back. Like I feel like that's a total possibility. And and
Oh yeah, it
and
is.
and here's
Unfortunately,
and here's my points too. Like we have to figure that the that contract is huge, but as the season progresses, it just gets lighter and lighter. So it gets, for each game it gets more attractive and more movable. So that opens the possibility, like, and also you don't know what a season entails. For instance, you don't know if there's a disgruntled player, you don't know if there's, like, anything can happen. This is like, who knew Harden was going to go to the Sixers?
you're right.
Like honestly, at that point, a Harden, Kyrie, Durant was the favorites to win the NBA championship. Like we were like all set. Like at that moment, we were all thinking the Nets would have won the championship if it weren't for size 35 feet of like whatever,
Size
that.
35. Yeah, dude.
I mean, it's by what was it, like
Bigfoot.
an inch, by 1 inch or something? Like it was
It's like
ridiculous. Like
centimeters or something like that, right?
it was bonkers. And that's the thing, like at that point we were all in on, like, oh, well, and I don't mean all in, like I wasn't high on them, but at the same time I could see the argument. I can definitely, like, on paper they're like, whoa, they are an offensive juggernaut. Like they can blow any team. Defensively, but offensively, it's kind of like
Offensively, yeah.
they have some destructive power. But now when we look at it, they make that like come trade the trade deadline, everything squeezed. But and here's the important part of it, and that's why there's a danger to pursuing Kyrie. And like you said in the beginning, he's being a good character. He's trying to protect his image. He's conveying this like everything is a okay. Nets is my home. Brooklyn is my home, and that could be 100% true. I'm honestly thinking it could be like it. I think he believes that, and I think being that he didn't want to ask a trade from the beginning makes me want to believe that his intent was to stay in Brooklyn. However, with all of the mess that has been this offseason and all of the extension talks and all the like the Lakers are his only option to get a guaranteed max. The Lakers are I mean and let me premise with this, we don't have sources. This is
Yeah.
this is our take. We are literally just what was the keyword yesterday, like the tea leaves, like we're just reading the tea leaves.
Yeah.
We are
Yep.
we are not
Yeah, we don't have any sources, none
we are
whatsoever. We hop on Twitter. We do
we
our
just
homework, I guess you could say.
a little bit. I mean, we got
Yeah.
full-time jobs too, so
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
we're just fans of the game. We just love the game, and we love
Yeah. No, I love
this
basketball, man.
this yeah, this off season. And just for those who are still here, like watching us and watching this struggle, it's probably a little cringy since it's our first time, but just a shout out, this is not only going to be Lakers content. We're going to do some other stuff, it is the Hoops Corner. It's called the Hoops Corner, so it's anything hoops related. So just be aware of that. I am not I am not 6 foot something. I'm like 5'10", 5'11". I'm a little chubby, and so I am not athletic in any way. And it's been a couple of years since before my son's birth that I've really played basketball. So it's not that type of channel. It's more of a discussion and more
Yeah.
of an open channel. And for those interested in being participating here, this is open for anybody. Honestly, this is not meant to be special treatment or who knows, it could be the Alan and Tony show, who knows, but
That'd be
but
nice. That'd be nice, actually.
that'll be nice. But for now, this is just us talking basketball and putting it out there for your entertainment. But uh going
Yeah. Hit
back
that.
to
Hit
this,
that like and subscribe button if there's one.
yeah, if there is one wherever it is. But um the other point is, and let's move on to this point, and it's how you're feeling for this so far, like with all the news today, with all that has happened. And this could be a little bit biased, but and I'm just gonna start off saying I feel like we've been in a desert, and each report has been like a little bottle of water. Like that's how it feels, literally. Like it's been. I mean, this is my first time.
That's a good way. I like that. I like the way
I,
you put that together. I love it.
I mean, it's literally, it feels like I'm in the desert, and each Shams report, each Woj, whatever, each retweet, each Mark Stein, Ryan Windhush with a whole this that like,
Man,
I've been like, hey man, like give me something. This whole like rumors, speculations, like I believe, unnamed source, unnamed executive, blah blah blah, and it's been like that since what, July 2nd, or I don't know the date, but I know that it's been months. Like it's
yeah.
it's
It's
it's been
it's it's been, I think it's been a month or
yeah.
when did Kevin Durant, I don't remember the exact date when he dropped like I want to
I
trade.
don't,
Since then, it's been
yeah.
like
It's kind of like I thought like I am.
I've been on edge.
And
Every single little tweet that I hear, and
yeah,
I'm like looking at my. It sucks, dude, because I'm not even like. I couldn't even imagine like people that cover sports. Imagine
Oh
us
no.
as fans that were on edge. I couldn't imagine someone that does sports like Johan and
No
Woj
way.
and Trevor and all the like that Laker Nation crew or like everybody that does like some type of sports broadcast like that covers sport. I couldn't imagine how on edge they are if we're like that,
No, I
and we're
mean,
just fans. Like we're just
y-
regular. We're just a regular Joe, dude. Like just
yeah,
and
I've
we're
seen
on
it.
edge.
Yeah, yeah. I agree, man. Like I mean, in a certain sense, it's a job, and I think everyone that covers, being Mark Stein, Adrian, like Woj, Trevor Lane, or even like the whole Laker Nation crew, the whole like everyone who covers NBA, they just have a passion for it. I mean, and I think it
Yeah.
speaks volume. Where
Yep.
when you have a passion for it, you can adapt to certain things. Like it's not easy, but I think that's a general rule in everything. And this is your top tip for the day if you're still with us here. But if you have a passion for it,
Oh yeah, man, go for
you
it.
go for it. Like that's
Go for
like
it.
we have a passion for this, so we're going for it, and we're just talking, and
Yep.
we're just having fun. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, and mad respects to everybody that does it.
Yeah, for real. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's definitely a grind, and uh, for anybody that have any piece of advice that I could give you guys out there, just don't give up, man. Just shoot for the stars.
yeah.
Be legendary, like Kobe told Devin Booker. Great.
Oh
Like
my
here's
god.
a quote. I'm gonna give you a quote that I have it on my wall. I look at it every single day. It Great things come from hard work and perseverance. There's no excuses. So
That's
there's my
facts.
advice. Kobe said it. Rest in peace, Black Mamba. How do I feel about the NBA so far the off season, man? I
Yeah.
think we just covered it. It's been cringe. It's a gas like you're drowning underwater and you're trying to gasp for air while you're swimming.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
it's been really just impatient. If you have anxiety, this is a bad time for you
Oh, I
because
mean, if you're anxious, I mean, like, think about it. You like, I'm also a Marvel fan, but just in general, like, I've been
oh, I'm a
binging
Marvel
some
fan
stuff.
too.
Yeah, I've been binging some stuff, and I've been jonesing. Like right now, the She-Hulk comes. I don't
Are you
like
high on
the
it?
not coming in. I haven't seen an episode, but the trailers, man, I'm not into that. Like,
No,
uh, I don't know. The
I haven't seen the
CGI the
trailers.
CGI looks cringy as heck. But what I'm trying to get at with all this is, and um, oop, some mic problem. So the one thing that I don't want to now I lost my train of thought. But what I'm trying to get at is, like, when you're in this off season, at least this is my first off season, like, in Twitter, in general, just looking, like, as a fan avid, like, and I'm like, wow, the fan experience is horrendous. It makes me want to watch the Golden Girls or things like it makes me wants to watch things that I don't normally watch.
Well,
That's what I'm trying to get at. And I'm like,
yeah.
because I'm just trying to get it out of my head. Though, for people who work 8 to 5 jobs, you're like, oh crap. But in the end, man, like, it's been brutal. It's been a brutal
It's
off
been a
season.
Burrow off season with
And
a lot of excitement though too. So
I think, like, for Lakers fans and those Laker fans that are watching us, it's just that last season was so horrid that you just want to take some bleach, rinse it off, get it out, burn it, be like,
yeah.
get it out of existence. And the problem is there's still that one stain,
The one thing you
and
can't get rid
and I'm not gonna say the name, but we all understand what we're talking about. So
yes, yeah. That one stain, that one red stain from some ketchup that fell on your white t-shirt from whatever you were
yeah,
eating, a
oh my
hot dog
god,
or a
yeah.
burger or buffalo wings, anything red, that's that one red stain shirt. yeah, he's.
I,
I'm not mentioning any names either, but that we still got that stain to deal
so
with.
watch the full episode for the full context. But anyways, we digress.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, it's been interesting. I'm I'm actually trying. I'm pretty optimistic now with this report. You can take it at two, and this is kind of like we're going with the off season and all this, and with
Mhm.
what's been happening. I feel like no matter what, Russ is being moved,
Yeah, Russ is
and
being
I
moved.
like I'm on the mindset that it could be the trade deadline, but I don't think he's gonna be a full season, and I don't think
Okay.
and let me say this, and for if Jeannie, if you're seeing this, if
Hopefully,
whoever
yeah. Hopefully, Genie's watching.
whoever one one piece of advice from a frustrated yet optimistic fan who knows nothing about the cap space, who knows nothing about sources, who knows nothing about this is just one point of view, but don't let Russ go for nothing. Don't let any player go for nothing. You know, the whole Kobe retiring, not trading him, that was well done. That was, I say, that was pure perfection in
Yeah.
in my mind. And I don't know if you agree, but those teams were trash. Those, but you like,
Shout out to Marcelo Huertas.
I mean, yeah. What I'm trying to get at is like we treat our superstars right,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
and
I think that this signing also proves that for sure.
exactly,
Solidified it.
so,
Stamped
and
on it.
and this report solidifies that as
Uh
well.
oh. Uh oh. Hold on.
Uh
I just
oh.
got something. NBA Central just tweeted something about LeBron. Let me see. Okay. There's a report. LeBron has been assured that the Lakers will deal. Okay, this is the same thing. I don't know why they're retweeting it. See, this is exactly what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. This is this it's exact. They're wording it differently, but saying the same shit. They're just saying that LeBron is assuring that they're going to trade the two first round picks
you know,
if the trade returns for like if it makes us a contender status, which on hindsight means if we're gonna get Kyrie, pretty much is what I get from that report.
yeah. I mean,
Who is
it
this?
it's kind
NBA
of,
Central wrote it, Lakers
yeah,
Daily.
yeah. Everybody's retweeting everything. Twitter, NBA Twitter right now is kind of crazy, to be honest. And the spaces, oh my goodness.
Oh man,
But
those spaces are fun though. I'm not gonna lie, dude. You
I
could yeah
mean,
you can catch me and Tony in spaces. We're in there.
yeah, we're
You can follow us at Twitter. You have is that your at? That's not your at, is it?
yeah. That's my ad. I kind of changed it, but it's you're gonna see Tony Vega. It's for some reason I can't put that there or here or right
Yeah, we'll
there.
figure it. We'll figure it out one day.
But wherever it's there. But yeah, and you can also see Alan, the blunted one. I'm
Yeah,
gonna leave the links in the video, but I'm hopeful if Alan wants to do more of these. But if you are interested, just DM us and we can do probably with this platform you can probably do more than one speaker, which would be
yeah.
great. I um and just a little background on who I am. I'm just a dad of three with who has a passion, and this channel was created to at first it was created for sim racing, so you're going to see some videos that are just sim racing and creations out of my Yahoo, which and just for aspects, this is the steering wheel. So yeah, this was originally sim content, but I do have other passions, being F1, cars, and the NBA as well. So you're gonna see a little bit of everything here. It's not gonna be only one thing, and you're not gonna see only Laker content. I still have a lot of things to say about the Knicks. I still have a lot to say, and we can do a 10-piece series on the Nets and how messed up. that situation
Yeah,
is.
I was gonna say, man, I couldn't imagine how Nets fans feel right now about the off season. Like, we feel
Ah,
we're like, yeah, dude, I couldn't imagine what the Nets, how the Nets feel right now.
yeah,
Nets
it's not.
fans.
I mean, I feel for them, man. Like
Yep.
if the Lakers were in that situation, or and and I'm gonna put a jab here. Sorry, Nets fans. The Lakers would not be in that situation because the Lakers treat their superstars right. But avoiding that, and my heart goes to them though, because as a fan, like honestly, this whole situation, this all off season, what really hurts are ticket holders, fans, like dude, like it's just a poor experience. Like this is
Yeah.
just a poor experience. Like I don't
If
want that. I don't like it's funny to say like, oh, like look at the Nets fans, and all due respect, that's just horrible for them. And yeah, I took my jab on them, but honestly, it's not great. It's not.
no, it's that's
It's
yeah. If
you
they
know
if they lose KD and Kyrie, ultimately they probably, I don't want to say they lose their entire fan base, but I don't think a superstar will ever go
no,
to that team.
no, 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 no. I believe I'm trying
Could
to
you see another?
control.
Could you?
I'm
I
trying
don't
to.
see another superstar. I'm gonna. They can lynch me if you want. I
Well,
don't see
they
another
have one.
superstar. I
They
don't see
have one
another. They
for
got Ben
four
Simmons,
years.
but
4 years is it? Like I think, or
I don't know Ben
they.
Simmons' contract.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know on top of my head, but I know that
yeah.
he has a long term contract, a rookie extension. So I am under the impression that here's a hot take. I think KD's coming back.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's just
okay.
unless the market changes, it's just
Ben Simmons got a 5 year contract. 5 year contract.
5 year.
Yeah,
Well, 5 years, but it started last year,
it
so I
started
think
last year.
so.
Yeah,
He has 4 years left. So yeah,
yeah. He's got 4 years. Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. As of this recording, but the one thing that, well,
So you think KD is gonna go back?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if I was the Nets and I put my Nets fan or just a GM, just a normal GM, they would not try to trade KD for cents on the dollar. Like they won't they won't get like dude, come on, Suns with Bridges
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
or
no,
you
no.
got or the Pelicans without Ingram or
Yeah, without that's
like without Ingram. Like it's let's be real. Like I'm being very realistic, very objective. I want Kyrie to be a Laker, but at the same time, I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. And there's no clear path. And then the Celtics and that whole situation, like they won a champ. I mean, they didn't win a championship. God for anyway, they they went to the finals. They competed for a championship. You know, eh, how can it's kind of like the Lakers. Like if you think about it, because if the Lakers they won a championship and they say like, you know what, let's gut this team. And at that time, they're kind of like, ooh, improvements, improvements, improvements. Every move was kind of like, oh, he's batting 100. Like he's making moves. He's make like, but there's a lesson there. They didn't run it back. Technically, they didn't run it back. So technically, that was a good team.
yeah, but okay, no, finish. I got you, but finish.
No, 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 no. You can rebut after this. But what I'm trying to get at is they gutted the team to a certain extent, and I don't know if you include Brown and Marcus Smart, I think you're technically gutting the team a bit. And that's probably my hot take. I would probably do it. Like if I was the Celtics, I'll probably do it because it's better. Like they have Brogdon now, so they the duplication of skills they technically have. One thing is you want to create like you want to keep the depth to a certain extent. So I see where they want to keep Marcus Smart. They want to keep which was the other one
I think Grant Williams.
Grant Williams. I think they want to draw the line somewhere. And at the same time, if the deal is Jaylen Brown for KD, at the end of the day, if I'm the Nets, I'm doing that deal. Like we can add picks to it rather than players. Give me picks. That's how I viewed it. That's how I would view it basically, because you technically have Brown, Simmons, Royce O'Neal. Who else? Seth is like Seth, or if he's not included in a trade. But what I'm trying to get at is that's a competitive team for all intents and purposes. So I don't know. It's because there's no clear path. It's hard for me to just say, oh yeah, Boston's the pick. So what's your take?
Okay, okay. I understand why you would want to bring KD back. I understand. I'm
Yeah.
not disagreeing with you on your take at all.
Remember, 4 years.
Yeah,
Like
he does have
like
4 years on his contract.
we're
He does.
talking about
But yeah,
legally
legally,
speaking.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, okay. I agree, right? But K, I mean, if this is a big if he does not play, and I've been saying, and I've been saying this, if he does
Yes.
not play, he needs to be traded. I would say before the season starts, because if you don't trade him now, he is 30. He does have 4 years on his contract, but he is 34 years old.
Isn't
You
he
have you.
33 going to 34?
I think he's 30. I think he's 34 already.
I
I'll check right quick.
uh, he's
Okay,
33.
he turns 24 in September. So
Hey,
he will be
hey,
34 when the season starts. So here you
I
look. There
used
it is.
I used the one comments to be like, oh, this
Yo,
now.
yo, yo. He's 30. Yeah, yeah. He is 33.
Yeah.
His birthday is September. Look, guys, his birthday September 29th, 1988. He's 33. He'll be 24 when the season starts.
Most likely he'll be 34 when he's traded. Let's
Yeah,
put it that perspective. So
yeah.
yeah.
So he will be 30. Yeah, so he will be 34 when he's traded. And if he's traded, and if again the contingency is if he plays. If he does not play, you are losing value of KD now than you are losing him by the trade deadline or next year or the year following, because you don't know what you're getting the next year either. Yeah, it's KD, right? It is KD. So you do know what you're getting, but you're losing the value because you don't know what other players are going to be in the market. You don't know who's going to hit, who's not going to hit. You don't know we just don't know what happens in the middle of the season with other teams that are what they're offering you now is what they're not going to offer you later on. So right now you might be getting offered Brown and Grant Williams and 3 first round picks and or 4 first round picks, whatever the exact Marcus Smart. I honestly think that they could still do it with Boston um, without Marcus Smart. I think,
Yeah.
and I don't know. People been saying Marcus Smart. I want to say throw Pritchard in there. You throw Pritchard, and I don't know if they want to get rid of him. But if you think about it, he's young. He's a young player. He's got some upside. He's a 3 point shooter. He did show up in the playoffs too. So I mean, we can't hate on Pritchard. I mean, I've played like this is just going off of like me watching him play. There's stats and stuff like that. I think he does have a upside, and I just think you can do it with Boston without including Marcus Smart, where everybody with both parties are actually happy. Excuse me, the Nets need to come off their asking price. And now this is all the contingency if KD plays basketball. If he does not play basketball, I honestly think that he needs to be traded to get a good return. You would have to trade him before the season starts, then instead of like waiting towards the end of the season is what I think. And honestly I don't think he would be back in Brooklyn because he's been real adamant until now about not returning and suiting up for in a Brooklyn Nets uniform. I think he would have already been like, let's pivot to something else because, and I just don't see it. I don't see like the locker room like mending well, and it just as a Brooklyn, like if for Brooklyn, I don't think it'd be a good look either. And then I think they should just kind of take their L in this aspect, get what they can, and make sure it's a good return where it keeps them competitive, and then just bring it up in the next CBA meeting is what I think.
I kind of that's the thing with this situation. That makes all that you said makes perfect sense. Like it's not it makes logical sense when you really think about it. Like Boston has enough assets where they're not gutting their team completely to the studs, and enough for them enough for the Brooklyn Nets to be competitive. And you have building blocks to basically have a very competitive team. I would love to see Ben Simmons and Jaylen Brown.
Jalen Brown, yeah, I think it's a good
I will
fit.
I would love to see Jaylen Brown in as a centerpiece, as the
Mm-hmm.
go-to,
Yep,
as the
I
face of
would
the
love to see that.
franchise. Because and this is and
And
sorry, Boston fans, I understand Tatum was more of a playmaker, and Jaylen Brown was more of the finisher, the go-to bucket getter. He basically performed, I believe, far surpasses my expectation of what I expected from him in the finals. So I saw that he has something there. He has raw talent, and I think every year he is going to get better.
yeah,
Again, the same argument can be applied, like, oh, then we keep him and he's just going to be better. I understand that. You can see it both ways. You can see it you can see it all the ways possible, all the sides. But if Boston wants an assured title, a definitive move that will put them not as a contender, but as a clear favorite, the KD move makes sense.
yep.
That's it just makes sense. And for the net side, it's just like you're the only thing with this situation is the Sixers and Durant, like I told you, like Durant has his buddy Simmons to tell him, like, what's the plan to get out of a team. Like he
Yeah,
can
right.
like he
Uh,
can put the pointers and whatnot. But
and how to
honestly,
get it,
the
and how
six
to get your money back.
and how to and how to get your money back. Like literally, that's an interesting precedent.
Yeah,
But one thing that's for sure is that it wouldn't like KD would need to be toxic. KD would need to be not to show up to play. He
I
would
don't
need
think he's
to.
showing up to camp.
Well,
I don't think he
that's
is.
what I'm trying to get at. Like, and there's some things here that doesn't make sense, because I was rereading one of the articles way back when the whole, like, Josiah Durant meeting, that they were saying like it was very formal, it was very polite, it was all this. Now it's reporting.
Yeah,
Nobody
well,
knows
they
if it
say
was
he's a
really
good dude.
polite. I politely threw something at you. Like it's, it could
Well,
be, it could be construed in many things.
they say
But
he's a good dude. Like they say that he's got like he's a good dude. He knows how to like talk to people correctly. He's polite. Like
dude, then I
I don't
don't.
want. I don't. So here's the thing. Like I don't. Everybody's really like really down on KD right now. Oh, he's a snake. He's this. He's that. He's this and that. But like you
He's
got to
made a lot of
remember
questionable moves. That's the thing.
he's okay. So maybe you can question his loyalty. Fine,
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, I don't think that justifies his character
I would agree with that.
or his personality.
Or the talent that he is,
Yeah, yeah, because
Eh,
he. I mean,
or
yeah. So
or the context that people say, like, he's washed. Look at what happened in the
I
playoffs.
don't think
He
he's
he
washed.
got he got swept, and that narrative, it doesn't make
He
sense.
like I can't stand people, and then
Uh,
like, and this might be I might be wrong for saying this, but I don't like the narrative of you being stuck to one, like the loyalty to one team, and you can't enjoy watching other teams. Like, dude, I love the Lakers. They're my like I ride die with them every single day. Purple gold. I believe that I was born in LA. I was raised over there. I've been watching the Lakers since Eddie Jones was there. I
oh
watched.
wow.
I wasn't super. I wasn't super old or anything. I was young, like I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
young. I was young and watching basketball. I remember one of my uncles coming in, showing me like Jordan and Johnson play. I watched Kobe get drafted. I watched like I've watched pretty much watched Kobe grow up in the NBA as I was growing up at the same time. So I'm a diehard Laker fan, but I like to watch. There's raw talent out there. Like I'd like to watch Memphis. Like if I had to choose another team to watch, I would watch the Memphis Grizzlies. I think
for
John
sure.
Morant and that team is like they're I don't know. They're just there's a lot of talent in the NBA right now, and
Yeah,
I don't like the narrative like of like, oh, everybody else sucks. Like if you're not on the Lakers, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I
No,
just don't. I hate that shit.
I 100% agree with that. And also like like my team to watch next year would be the Pelicans because we're gonna have Zion,
Oh yeah.
we're gonna have Ingram, we're gonna have CJ. Like
Let's not
that
even get
that
started with
team.
Zion.
I mean, if he lays out of the gumbo, I think he.
If he lays off the gumbo and the lays and the Cheetos,
The sheet.
and if he can't, like, okay, if we want to talk about a person that's injury prone, I think that's the staple right there because he's been in the
Yeah.
league for how many years now? I did a
Um.
search on how many games he's played in the 3 years that he's been in the league. He's only played 82 games.
Yes. Now look at the stats though.
Well,
Like,
yes, yeah. I'm
like
not.
let's
I'm not. I don't want to
let's.
say his. I'm
I
not
know
talking
I know
about
what you're
his.
saying. I
Yeah.
know what you're saying. But
No,
but
no, no.
look
Yeah, yeah.
look
No,
at
I'm
look
not. I
at
don't want to.
Embiid.
I'm not saying his stats. Like his stats are
Yeah.
there. The dude's a beast,
But look at
right?
Embiid.
He's
Like Embiid was basically like like he was drafted, then injuries, didn't play a season, did like he was like technically the contract that Joel Embiid got is similar to the contract that the
that
Pelicans gave.
gave. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not exactly, but what I'm trying to get
What
at
is
is
it?
with
I
this.
don't think they have a weight clause. There's like a weight clause on there or something like that, right?
I mean, yeah, at least it's not a what's it called? It's not a study clause or something like
Oh man,
that.
who's that?
uh,
Murray, right? Keegan Murray, or what's his name?
It was
Keegan
something
Murray,
like it
the
was
football
something
player,
like that.
right?
Yeah, I don't
I think
by
it's Cardinals.
hand held high. I don't watch NFL, but that was probably the most funniest shit I've ever seen. And
Yeah, I
sorry
think
about
it's.
my language, but that was that was great. But yeah, it's interesting. Let's see what happens. Yeah, here's I want to end with this, if that's okay.
Kyler
And
Murray, that's his name.
ta-
Kyler Murray.
okay, there we go. See,
He's the Cardinals. Plays with the Cardinals. I'm
I
not an avid football watcher either. I do
yeah.
have a football team. Am gonna get into football, so maybe
Ooh, what's the team?
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys. Boy,
Yeah.
dude. Sorry for your loss.
Bro, I'm yeah. Don't even, dude. I'm. That's why I look forward to the NBA season because I don't have to stress out about
Oh my
the
god,
NFL
yeah.
season.
I got friends that follow football, and I know that
Yeah, same
there's a
here.
Dallas Cowboy fan, and he's like, I think it was during the draft, like he was thinking like, oh, they're gonna do, and it's kind of like, they're not doing any free agency moves, like what's going on here or something. And anyway, yeah, it's interesting, but I want to end with this, if kind of going back to square one, I guess here, and where you were gonna end. We started kind of Lakers focused, and I think we're gonna end Lakers focused a bit. But here's a thought for you: if the Nets are now saying or reported during this podcast that uh, that they want win now pieces, like they want players. Here's a thought: would you give? Let's assume, the Pacers drop their asking price a bit, because I do feel like the Pacers asking price is a bit too high. I would believe like if you do only the Pacers is one pick and a couple of seconds. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's reasonable too.
yeah, so because you're basically getting a neutral contract, or you're taking on salary, like long-term salary with Healed, and yeah, I think that makes sense. Now, here's how I would bracket this, and I haven't thought about it too much. I don't know if the logistics make sense, but if they want win now pieces, let's say um, let's say the Nets take they they won't give any players except Kyrie to the Lakers. They'll receive a combination of Miles Turner or Buddy Hield, and then the two picks goes to the Pacers, or one pick goes to the Nets and one pick goes to the to the Pacers. And then you basically netting a combo of Kyrie and whatever other player to make the math work. Do you see
Uh,
that being the solution? Because the report basically says the Nets are saying we don't want. That means win now pieces means Russell Westbrook is not a win now piece,
yeah,
so they don't want him.
no, they don't.
So that's sorry. That's just what it is.
Yeah, that's what it. I think some fans out, some Lakers fans, I think that they'll still do that trade like straight up, and it's
because
like
they
no, no, no,
wanna
no.
because they wanna have they wanna put the popcorn on. They wanna put the few games the Nets have, and just see Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook in the same
Yeah,
floor.
no.
Like it's.
And it's not all Lakers fans. There's some Lakers fans I
I
believe
know
that
it's
think
not
that.
all,
But yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like the Nets do not want Russ. I've said it. I
and
think you've
that's
said it.
yeah.
Um,
If they don't want, so that's the thing. If they don't want him, but they want win now pieces, what are you doing to trade if it's a 3-team deal? Are you
man, dude, that's a great question. And
like would you just go to, because here's how I view it though, and this could be me being wrong, but let's assume Durant just sits, and this is probably the patience that Rob is saying, but let's assume he just says I'm not gonna play.
okay,
So
okay.
if he's not gonna play and he's gonna go the Ben Simmons route, which is hilarious, but if he goes if he goes the Ben Simmons route,
he
um,
Ben Simmons it.
he Ben Simmons it, um, the Nets are gonna tank unless Kyrie balls out, and even then, I don't think Kyrie will ball out because he knows that is if he's injured, he won't get paid. You understand? Like there's a thing here where Kyrie is treading on very thin ice, because if he wants the max, or he wants the Nets to get him the max, or not even the max, just the contract. You have to be healthy. Like if he gets injured,
Well, Kyrie has to play this year,
he has to pay. He has to
and I think
ball out this
he
year,
has the
but
ball
he
out this
also
year, and I think that's why he's like so invested in like you know what I will stay. I will play for the Nets, and and I think
it's a very dangerous combination because
mhm.
he's also risking injury. So it's this thing where everything has to break right for Kyrie. And if the sure thing is the Lakers, because there's nothing out of the Lakers camp that's saying, "Oh, we're never gonna offer Kyrie an extension." There hasn't been any reporting on that. So our best guess is that they're gonna be like, "Hey, we're gonna roll with it. Like we're gonna give him the extension. We're gonna extend him." Makes sense. It's just and this thing where if you can get down on the Pacers deal, then it makes sense. Why not take the Pacers deal by itself? Get Buddy Hill and Miles Turner,
Because
and
I
just keep that first.
okay.
Is that like would you keep that first or go all in on Kyrie?
Okay. 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 So I think okay. So if KD sits out, like I said, if he sits out, I honestly think there will be a move with KD. because again, I honestly think that his trade value won't be worth diddly squat if he sits when they want to trade him in the deadline than
Correct.
what they're gonna get, because I don't think Kyrie and Ben Simmons is a contending team. And that might be a hot take for another time, but I don't think they're a contending team with just Ben Simmons and Kyrie. I honestly don't think that. I don't think there's.
Yeah,
I would say they will be in the same slot that we're in, the 6th seed and the 7th seed with Kyrie and Ben Simmons at your what is it, the backcourt. They're not a contending team. They will probably be a 6 or 7 seed play, maybe even like they will be a playing team for sure with those two on the team. So if KD sits out, he will be traded. I don't know where, what assets they will get. I believe the Nets will have to come down on their price and maybe take one less pick than they would than what they want, and maybe not get a Marcus Smart and maybe get somebody else in the Celtics. That you would we would have to look at the roster in the Celtics to break down to see what's a good asset. I think Peyton Pritchard is an asset.
for sure.
Um,
Derek White.
Derek White, yeah, Derek White. I
Yeah,
would, if I was Boston, I would try to keep Derek White out of that trade. Because
yeah. I would.
He did really good for them in the playoffs. And I think if they have him for a full season, I think
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
something there, right? There I think he is I think coming off the bench. I would have to look at their roster and see how it work, but
No,
what players to add in there. But I think they can do it without Marcus Smart. But
yeah,
the centerpiece will definitely be probably like 3 picks, and Jaylen Brown maybe 4 picks, and I don't know if they have 4. I think they have 4 picks, don't they?
yes.
And if they don't, you add a couple of seconds.
I
What
think so. I
you know,
think so. Yeah,
there's a move to be made there without including Marcus Smart. There is, I know there is.
of course.
Um, so if he sits out, I think he gets moved. And so in that case, there is going to be a somewhat rebuild, I guess you could say, in Brooklyn. So that means Kyrie would be moved. I think that would have to be in a 3-team trade. Like you said, I just don't know if we have enough picks to do it
Yeah,
because
that's why I say that the
yeah,
Pacers have
because
to
yeah,
lower their asking.
and it's only because Kyrie's worth 2, I think, or
No.
he's worth 1. He's worth 1 pick for sure.
Uh,
Um,
I mean, remember, and this is something to note. Lakers are the only ones after Kyrie.
yeah,
So, I know the
but
reason why I feel.
he moves our needle right now, and he puts us like at the 3 spot from the
I
6 or 7
mean,
spot that we're at now,
he
and he makes us a
moves
contender. So okay, let me ask
a.
you this. Let me ask you
Yeah,
this:
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
know the outcome of if we do receive Kyrie in that trade, I mean, you obviously do it, right?
If the outcome would be to get
Yeah,
Kyrie.
if the outcome is a championship and you know that, you're still
Mm.
doing the move, obviously, right?
Oh, of course.
Well,
But
then
no,
you do
no
it.
doubt, no doubt.
You put you because
I
it's a
might.
win. We're in
Yeah.
win now mode, and we have 2 years of. We have to remember we only have 2 years left of LeBron, of a healthy LeBron, I guess you could say, because Father Time is probably knocking at his door. I don't want to say it like that either, but
Yeah.
he is, what, how old is he? 37, 38?
37. Yeah.
Yeah,
38. And this is another thing is like when you see LeBron's is going out, but now that AD and LeBron have the same contract, like the same
yeah.
expiration date,
Yep.
you have
You
to.
just you would have to put in all your
I
you
mean,
just have to go all in on Kyrie because
that's the thing that I. Here's the thing. A part of me wants the depth of Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, and another part of me wants Kyrie because if LeBron goes away, we got a solid combo of Kyrie and AD.
and AD exactly.
So it's it's kind of like the Kyrie deal fulfills a need that we have now and in the future.
Yeah.
The Miles Turner Buddy Hield trade only fulfills our need now.
Now, yeah,
So
Yes,
that's, I
yes,
think,
yes.
the best way I can
I
take out of that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's we're in. We have 2 years of LeBron. We get Kyrie, and remember the best way for us to get Kyrie and give him kind of what he wants is to get him in a trade, because we get his bird rights.
Correct.
If
Yeah.
we get him, as a, I believe if we get him as a free agent, I don't think we get his bird rights. If we sign him in the,
So
correct
here's
me if I'm wrong.
no. Bird rights are only by trade, and you have to play 2 years with the team for early bird rights or something like that.
Yeah,
Comment below if I'm wrong. But
yeah.
um, remember, I'm not married to my ideas. I want to learn. This is all.
Yes, yeah, me too. I'm willing to
So
learn. Don't, yeah, correct us
yeah,
if we're wrong.
and I think it
But
was I think it was Brian Windhorst, or I don't know who, but they were breaking down the whole.
and that's why we shouldn't wait for Kyrie, right? Kyrie's has to be
Yeah.
a now
So
move.
there's a possibility, supposedly possibility, that the the Lakers have a potential for 2024 to open up a $30 million roster spot, but that's a little bit below the max for Kyrie, I think.
Yeah,
That's because I think
yeah,
Kyrie max is around 30 plus, but I could be wrong. But in the end of the day, they could, if they not waive, if they trade THT, if THT opts into his
yeah,
contract. If he opts
yeah.
out to his contract, then that's
We,
10 mil
yeah.
less. So like
So we
regardless,
bank on THT doing good this year, guys. if we
basically,
if
yeah,
we if we want, I think Kyrie.
yeah.
If we don't get him now,
So
but I think if we have to put on all our. Like, I don't want to say we have to, but I honestly think um, getting Kyrie moves that need, and it moves the. I think it moves the needle extensively.
yeah,
And it moves us from a six seed. I think right now, the way that we're constructed right now is we're a 6 seed, best case scenario, 6 seed comfortably.
yeah,
With Kyrie on our roster, I'm not going to go first. I'm not going to even go second. And I might not even go third, but we can switch and flop third to fourth seed with
yeah,
Kyrie on the roster. And it depends what there has to be a couple other pieces, I think, added into that Kyrie deal. So it depends if we get Seth. I don't think they want to move uh, Joe. So if we get Seth, I think that helps us out too. And if we don't, I think if with just that move, if we're able to retain like Nunn and THT, I think I'm okay. I'm okay with not moving them until trade deadline. The trade deadline.
yeah. Let me see. I want to try something here, and this is a good avenue for our, what's it called? Um, Let me see if I can. I'm gonna do something here.
Okay.
Because I just saw this tweet, and I want to end it with this, if that makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
give me 1 second.
And I want
I'm
to reiterate to everybody: we don't have sources. We're
Oh, no,
just.
no, this is not a source. This
Oh
is
yeah, yeah.
just this
No,
is
no,
more
yeah.
of a funny take, but I kinda agree, and this is a guy
Yeah, no, no,
that,
that has nothing
yeah,
to do with your what you're about to say. I just want to
yeah,
reiterate
yeah.
to everybody that we don't have sources. We're just two dads that got together on Twitter that like basketball, and we're just want to have a discussion about it and share it to everybody else.
Exactly. We are by no means, or we are, no, no.
Yeah,
Like, I'll be honest. We are,
we just love the game, and just do we do a little bit of homework on our off time and when we get a chance from our normal lives and full time jobs.
yep.
But it's fun. It's fun.
It is fun. All right, let me see if I can do this. Chrome tab. Um, Here we go. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, who's that? Taylor.
Look what Shub said. How is that not a win now player? It's, yeah. I mean, that's where, yeah, that's,
You said Shub posted. Oh, here it is.
yeah,
How is this not a win now player? I like that. Dude, a lot. Man, I could keep going. I'm high on THT, man. It just we don't
yeah,
know. I think having Russ on our team killed that. So there's
yeah.
that.
Well, let's see. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
Um, Alan, any final thoughts?
It's all Russ's fault. I'm just joking.
Hey, I mean, this is a podcast for anybody who loves NBA content from a fan or a dad's perspective. We are frustrated. The off season. Here's a joke. The off season was so bad, we started a podcast. That's how bad it was. So yeah. So we needed another platform other than Twitter to vent our frustrations. But um come watch us. We're gonna have more content available as the days progress. We don't do this. We just do this for fun. We don't have sources. Again, we don't do this professionally. We just have takes and we have fun with it. And hopefully, you guys too have fun with it. And if you are interested in coming into this space, well, not space, but into this content, chatter, discussion, whichever one you want to talk about basketball. We're not going to be talking about only NBA, Lakers, but we're going to talk about NBA in general. There's a lot of hot topics that I want to discuss, kind of like the CBA. This whole situation, like this Durant situation, they're probably going to be a clause that says the Durant Simmons trade clause or something like it. There's going to be something about that, but
Yeah,
we'll
definitely.
discuss that in future episodes. This is the inaugural one. Hope you guys liked it. It's an hour and 11, Alan. So
Yeah, dude,
we
that's that. And we
that
didn't
was
even. I didn't
all.
expect that for real.
Yeah, it's called frustration, and then after this, we're gonna go to on Spaces most likely. So
Probably.
so
Yeah.
find us
Find us on
find us on
Spaces.
Twitter, Spaces, the blunted one. We're gonna have the links below. You can see me and Anthony that underscore Vega 86. Try to make it shorter, but a lot of people out there. All right, guys. See you later. Peace.